Welcome back to the show. I can hardly believe it, but it is the time of year to start thinking about the year ahead and setting goals for yourself. Now, I am a big fan of goal setting and planning in any form, quite honestly. I really think I get as much joy out of the anticipation of things as I do when they actually occur. And I have really honed in on my CEO planning process in the past few years. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that business goals are not the only type of goal to set for yourself. So, in this episode, I want to walk you through the three types of goals to set for the year ahead so that you can feel more balanced and intentional as you step into the new year. And also, you can use this process any time of the year. It's not about New Year's resolutions. It's about setting intentions and focusing at any point when you feel the need to revisit this. I'm not a New Year's resolution champion. I am more of I do love the feeling of the new year and the energy that comes with it. I think it's just as powerful in September, even any quarter. I have literally done this process in April on a Wednesday in the middle of a month before. So you don't have to have it be like the beginning of the year. It is important to take the time every year and reflect on what just happened and think about how that might impact any of the goals that you want to move forward with into your next year. So building that into your process at some point, but ultimately making sure that you have this process to fall back on at any point when you need to think about changing plans or creating goals. Because the truth is, I love this quote that I heard. I don't know who it's by, but it is, "No wind is favorable to a ship without a destination." You have to have something to point your energy towards, to point your efforts towards as you're working, especially when we're entrepreneurs and we don't have a boss telling us what our goals are or helping us to be accountable to those things. That's all on us. So having this process will really support you in achieving that, in having direction and feeling a little bit more connected to what it is that you're doing. So if you completely resist the idea of planning out your whole year, I feel you, and I have erased more plans than I can count, but I would still really encourage you to take the time to work through this so that you have that high level that you can look to, that high level vision. Okay, so before we dive into the types of goals and what they include, I wanted to add that the process of setting goals can be really challenging to squeeze into your regular workday. So this is why I always host a workshop around this time of year. So just keep an eye out for that if you're listening, because carving out the time is really important. And I also find that you really need to give yourself space in your brain to dream and expand. So I personally love doing this in a different environment. I typically will take myself away for a weekend, hold up in a cabin in the woods where I can have snacks and wine and nobody to disturb me. And, if you can rent an Airbnb or a hotel or go spend a night at your friend's house who's away in Mexico right now, any of those options are great because a change in scenery is incredible for creativity. All right. So as promised, I'm going to dive into the three types of goals that you can set for yourself. Let's go with the obvious one first, because that's your business goals. And business goals are the ones that we tend to get really excited about, and we can see ourselves actually accomplishing. We can see the value that they create for ourselves. So anything to do with your business moving forward, revenue streams, things that you want to launch, clients that you want to bring in, a lead generation number. Maybe you're like, I want to grow my email list by 500 people per month or in the year, whatever. Are you looking to hire a team this year, getting some support, looking for a VA, maybe? Any of these things. I also put skill development under business because maybe you have realized that you need to just get better at something. Like there was a year when I tried to learn Facebook ads, and while that was a goal, I failed at it. And I realized that it's just better to either not do it or have someone who is got the ability to focus on that all the time to do it. So those are the kinds of things that you can put into your business goals. And sometimes these are the easiest ones to come to mind. So I tend to usually do these first. The second type of goals are personal. So personal goals might be around your relationships, your marriage or partner or spouse, or getting one of those things if you don't have and you want, your kids if you have, your family, like extended family. For me, I always include making some intentional notes around how I want to grow my relationship with my dad and my brother, and friends, because adult friendships is so important to continue to have that as a priority. I always have a girls' night, a little girls' trip or something like once a year where I get away with my two best friends that I've been friends with for, oh my gosh, we did the math the other day, over 25 years, which is not a thing I thought I would ever be able to say. That's related to a memory that I have. So all of these categories, thinking about the relationships that you have personally. So you could also call this category relationships, right? Because I have a third category, which I call self, which is still related to yourself and activities that you might do more on the personal side. But I look at these as the things that really fill your cup. So if you have health and fitness goals that you want to connect and write down, if you have self-care goals, I love to get my nails done. I put that I get my nails done every month. And when I do that, it makes me not feel bad about getting my nails done every month because it's a goal. And this is just a little sidestep here, but the reason to have goals besides your business goals is to essentially write yourself a permission slip to actively pursue the things that you put into these other categories. Because as you're growing a business, it can be so easy to just tunnel vision on what that looks like and put so much effort into the business side of things that we let everything else fall apart. And if you have heard some of the other podcast interviews on this show, it's not about that. It's not about the chase. It's about finding that balance. And maybe balance is not a great word because I think that we all struggle to see that as just two counterweights that are coming up even. But finding the like integration of allowing you to be ambitious and pursue goals and want to grow your business while also feeling fulfilled and present along the way. And it's the other pieces of your life that are going to give you that so much more and so much more quickly and without as much like stress as the business goals are. So the self goals are all about filling up your cup. Health and fitness, self-care, personal growth, vacations all go here. And quite honestly, I usually start any of my year planning with, I want 6 weeks of vacation. So what am I taking time off? And I build everything else around the time off that I want to give to myself for my family. We have some big trips that we want to do in the year coming in 2024. I want to go over to Europe, visit my family in the UK. I would really love to take my kids to Disneyland again because it's been a while and it's like my favorite place on earth. Literally, I want to go there like all the time. And I want to get away for myself with my girlfriends. I want to get away with my business, doing something that's specific to like a business conference. I actually already have one booked in September next year where I'm going to be going to Dallas for an event for work and hopefully speaking. I have applied to speak at it. So putting that out there as a goal as well. So when you can look at your life really holistically in these sort of three categories, and maybe you come up with more, and again, these are not rules for you to follow, but simply like some structure that I've created as I've developed this process and worked through it over the past 4+ years that I've been specifically doing it this way, you can see more than just the business on there. You can give yourself the time to focus on the goals that are in the other categories and realize the equal amount of importance that those also have. So, and I'm just really harping on that because I know it's something that I struggle with a lot, especially in the earlier stages of my business when my business was structured like a consultancy, where I felt like if I was not working for a client, I was literally not being paid. And not being paid meant like, what was I even doing? Right. So we start to kind of self-destruct with all those negative thoughts. And I wouldn't allow myself to even work out in the middle of the day earlier on in my business because I saw that as like directly competing with the business goals that I had. Yeah, that's the truth. And now I am actually able to see that they're more connected than ever. That the more that I am pouring into the things that are helping me fill my cup and focusing on actually doing those things and making the time for them without guilting myself about them, the better I do at the business side of things, the better I do in my relationships. And these are really all like, if it could be like that infinity symbol, but with three sides. I don't know. It's like a Venn diagram. And in the middle of it is like the gold. So all three of these pieces come together. And when you focus on all of them with some amount of equalness, not necessarily meaning like you're going to spend the same amount of hours on each thing, but because this is subjective and it's whatever it is to you. So looking at those three categories of your goals for the next year. I hope this is a helpful process. I want to hear about what your goals are. So please head over to Instagram and send me a DM at ksco_Kelly. And let me know one of your biggest, scariest dreams that you feel like even saying out loud seems like crazy. Okay, because that the first step is putting it out there into the universe that is something that you want and allowing that to like manifest for you. So yes, I'm a big fan of that. And I will be your confidant if you would like to send me a message and connect with me on this. And if you are looking for further support in goal setting, keep an eye out for my CEO planning workshop. It is available as part of Black Friday to join it live, but there'll be another version of it probably as a recording afterwards if you missed the live dates or if you're on the other side of the world and you want to just catch that as a replay. Happy planning. I can't wait to see what the next year has in store for you.